Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the views so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. You guys ready for some hashtag Team Old IPA? It's good times. Collab, Monkish and Other Half. This is JFK to LAX, canceled flight. And this beer is about 9 months old. This beer comes courtesy of my man Nick. I appreciate you, bro. Nick sent this to me before it was right after COVID hit. And it was one of those things. I meant to drink it and I don't know what happened. I think during COVID I was like, oh, I'm going to support breweries and buy a bunch of beer online and have it shipped. And this is one of those cans that just kind of got pushed to the back of the fridge and I totally forgot about it. And he messaged me. He's like, hey, how's that? How's that pre-COVID JFK to LAX? It was actually post-COVID. May 21st, this was canned on, of 2020. Today is February 21st. So to the day, what are we, 8 months? Is that right? Math is hard. We've reviewed some beers today. JFK to LAX, in my opinion, I joked, every time I review a Monkish triple IPA, it was the best triple IPA. JFK to LAX is probably the best Monkish triple IPA of all time. That beer was legendary. Loved it. That was really the first, hazy triple IPA that blew my mind. I fucking love that beer so hard. But yeah, so they I don't know if this is the same beer. I don't think it is, but they got together they didn't get together. They must have just virtually collabed on this one. I don't know. Monkish, Torrance, Other Half, Brooklyn, and now, where else is Other Half now? Are they DC? Somewhere out there? Per the can, I think this is 10%, isn't it? 10.2% alcohol by volume. So, Nick, here we go, bruh. There wasn't a whole lot of hiss on that can when we cracked it. We're using our Monkish glassware because you guys know beer tastes better out of proper glassware. I don't know if proper glassware is going to help us on this one. I mean, listen, I've had 3-year-old Monkish, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, 9 months. It's old for, haze bro standards, but it's really not that old, I don't think. I don't know. We used to be stoked on, whatever. You would find beer, you had no idea when it was, bottled or canned or whatever it was, right? It was what it was, and you bought beer and you drank it. I think people are so... Listen, I agree. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling at this point. I agree. Drink beer fresh. It's better fresh. But it's I always joke around, every time I have an older beer, I think of Peter, the master of hoppets. He'd be stoked to have some 5 or 6 month old Monkish, I'm sure, because it's impossible to get there. So it's just one of those things. Whatever. Who cares? It looks awesome. It's glowing in the glass. It is just vibrant orange. A good finger of fluffy bright white head. It's sticking around. It's chilling. Looks good in that Monkish proper glassware. I think this has Citra in it. I can't remember. Galaxy, maybe? What was JFK to LAX? I don't know. It's been probably, 3 years since I reviewed that beer? Let's show our fat nose in this one. See what an 8-month-old Monkish beer smells like. So this smells bready and sweet. There's a definite maltiness to it, but this still smells very much of pineapple and of oranges. It's heavy citrus and has a pineapple kind of a thing. It does though. It smells sweet. It smells bready. It smells like sourdough bread. I don't want to say it smells sour, but I fucking love sourdough bread so hard. When you smell it, it has this intense, I don't know what that is. It's not sour, bad sour, but it smells like that. This smells like sourdough bread. And it's got this grassy kind of lemon thing going on. But there's plenty of citrus there still. It's kind of orangey, tangerine-ish. And it has this cool tropical, kind of pineapple-y stone fruit thing. Listen, I've had Monkish beers that are fresh to death. If someone gave this to you blind, you would never guess this was a Monkish beer, but it doesn't smell terrible. Let's go and taste it. Nick, cheers. Thanks, bro. Sorry, I forgot about this beer. Listen, this isn't if you were to give someone a monkish beer for the first time, this isn't what you'd want to give them. But this isn't terrible at all. It's definitely malty and it's definitely sweet, but it's not undrinkable. I will say there is a sweetness on the finish of that I definitely think it's alcohol. It's 10.2%. So that alcohol sweetness is coming through with the bready sourdough bread kind of sweetness. It almost has like a little bit of like caramel thing, like old school IPA. It's got that, but there's still plenty of like orange juice, a little bit of grapefruit, and it has like this, it's some sort of stone fruit. The mouthfeel of this beer is awesome. It's creamy, it's full. The carbonation is still spot on. It's just, you can tell that obviously the hops have fallen off in the last 8 months. This isn't like a double dry hop beer. It's not one of the crazy triple dry hop beers. But this isn't, sometimes I've talked about it, fresh monkish beer can be offensive. It's insanely green. I mean, people are like, oh, it's too much, it burns. This is so mellowed out, and that sweetness kind of is what's driving this beer. I mean, is this my favorite way to drink monkish? No way. I'd rather have it intensely green, super fresh. But this beer isn't awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. This is fine. This is one of those beers that back in the day you drank and you're like, oh, that's IPA. I mean, the fact that 8 months later there's still all that citrus and stone fruit character is awesome. You can just tell it's a well-made beer. It's just malty. But it's like candied malts. There's a sweetness, a little bit of booze. Like I said, there's no heat, but there's just a little bit of alcohol that just kind of lets the citrus and the stone fruit sit on, and it finishes sweet. That's what it is. So, I mean, listen, we've talked about it. Don't age your IPAs. I joke around about Team Old IPA, but that's, I mean, I'll drink beers that are, 2-3 months old, and we call that old. We joke around about it. I wanted to make glassware that said Team Old IPA on it, but I never did. Just because I don't think you need to like take beer from the tank and fucking drink it. You can let it sit in the can for a little while. It doesn't need to be 2 days old all the time. Obviously, in a perfect world, you wouldn't age monkish beer for 8 months, but it's not terrible. It really isn't. I mean, it's fine. It really is. It's fine. So we'll leave it at that. That's what 8-month-old monkish IPA tastes like. Triple IPA. The more I've drank this, like the less that alcohol kind of taste is. It's more just like a bready sweetness. I mean, shit. We could finish this, no problem. It's whatever. I bet you my wife would love this because it's not crazy in your face, like hot burn aggressive, which it might have been fresh. I don't know what this beer was like fresh. I know what it was like at 8 months old, and it's not bad at all. Not terrible. Not mad at it. So that's JFK2LAX canceled flight. You guys ever age monkish cans? Let's talk about aging beer. Anybody Team Old IPA? Let's talk about it. You guys are my peeps. Let's do it. I know people out there age IPAs. Should we discuss it? Piss people off? Let's do it. I'm out of here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. See you very soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.